So, Ireland will not be taking part in the 2019 World Cup. For the last three editions, they've been the associate nation that has punched above their weight and pulled up an upset every single time. But they're not going to be there again. As I've said many times, there should be more than 10 teams at the World Cup, but unfortunately, that is out of our control. Ireland had a big opportunity to qualify. The door was opened for Ireland to qualify by the UAE, upsetting Zimbabwe, but they failed to Afghanistan in a winner takes all clash. And looking at Ireland's losses in the tournament, they lost to Zimbabwe and the West Indies, two teams that they defeated at the 2015 Cricket World Cup, as well as Afghanistan, a team that they beat in an ODI series 2-1 just a couple of months ago. And they played a lot of bilateral ODI cricket against Afghanistan, and they've been neck and neck. There hasn't really been much to separate the two teams. And in the end, they were pretty comfortably beaten by Afghanistan. And to me, this shows that Irish cricket has been on a decline in the last few years. If you look at their performance in ODIs against the top 8 teams in this cycle from the last World Cup to now, they've had 13 games against them and they have not won a single one. That's not a good sign for a team that has just recently become a full member, that they're regressing at this point in their history, now with Test cricket in the picture. So that has been the disappointing thing for me for Ireland, that they haven't been able to kick on. And I think a big part of that is their reliance on some old, experienced players. If you look at guys like William Porterfield, Niall O'Brien, Kevin O'Brien, Ed Joyce, Gary Wilson, Tim Murtaugh, and Boyd Rankin, those guys are all over the age of 30. They've been around for a long time, and they're still the key cogs in that team like they were almost a decade ago. That is the big problem for Ireland, that young players aren't coming through to take their places. If you look at that squad, the only real young players there are in the batting, Paul Sterling and Andrew Balbirnie, and then in the bowling department, Barry McCarthy and Andy McBride. George Dockrell is also there, but he hasn't developed in his international career the way Ireland would have liked. There's a young leg spinner called Jacob Mulder who wasn't in the squad. Maybe he's someone they could look at, but Ireland need to find the next generation. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult transition for them going forward to full member status. But luckily, full member status brings more funding. So hopefully they can improve their infrastructure, which should mean that player development is improved. They've got a certified first-class tournament now, so hopefully the quality of cricket there will grow. Obviously, their best players will still play county cricket, but nonetheless, I think that's something positive for Ireland to look forward to. And unlike a lot of the associate nations who were gut-wrenchingly eliminated from this tournament, like Scotland, Ireland do have something to fall back on. It's not the end of the world for them not to qualify for the tournament, although I think they would have liked to. So overall for Ireland, it's about finding the new generation, because now as a full member nation, they have the means by which to develop. So hopefully they can start to get back to where they were, because it would be a bad look if the minute they get full member status, they become a bit of a walkover as a team. When I look at their performance in this tournament, unfortunately, there wasn't the consistency that they would have liked in the bowling and the batting front. They were heavily reliant on the experienced duo of Tim Murtaugh and Boyd Rankin with the ball. Simi Singh came in later and gave a boost to the spin bowling attack, but overall, they were too dependent on those two up front. As for the batting, all the players chipped in at some point in the season, but there wasn't that complete batting performance where they all fired together. That was the issue for Ireland with their batting. But anyway, if you got this far, thanks for watching the video. Do let me know how you think Ireland cricket should move forward, and I will see you in the next video.